Welcome! In this tutorial, we will learn how to use the timesheet to track our time entries in CrossConcept Continuum. The timesheet is a calendar interface that will allow us entering the number of hours spent on a specific task and then submit them for approval. From the left menu, we go into Timesheet, and under the Time and Scheduling group, we select My Timesheet. The calendar interface opens by default in the current week. At the top, we have a date selector that we can use to navigate to a specific date. With the left and right arrows, we can navigate through past and future weeks. And we can navigate through different months by using these other left and right arrows. We can also select different months and years by clicking the text in the middle. To get back to the current week quickly, we can click the current date displayed at the bottom. In the main area at the left, we have the name of the projects to which we are assigned to. Below, we have the name of the associated task, and in parentheses, we have the current status of that task, such as active, inactive, or completed. If we have view access to this project and task by clicking their names, we will be able to access the project and task profiles in a separate window. We also have a pin icon, which is disabled by default. By clicking the icon, this task will be pinned to the timesheet and will be visible in all the past and future weeks, regardless if we have planned hours during those weeks. To unpin the task, we just click the icon again. In the calendar area, we have the days of the week, including the non-working days configured in our profile. If we want to hide the non-working days from the calendar, we can deselect the Show Non-Work Days at the top right. To display them again, we select the same checkbox. In the calendar, we have 3 rows per each task. The first row shows the planned hours, which will appear in green cell background for the billable tasks and in blue cell background for the non-billable tasks. In this example, we have 0.50 planned hours under the status meeting task on Wednesday, March the 7th. The second row allows us to enter the regular hours, which means the actual hours we spent working on this specific task on this specific date. For example, we can enter the number 2. Meaning that we spent 2 hours working on the status meetings task on Wednesday, March the 7th. The third row allows us to enter any overtime hours when required. Since the overtime hours tracking could be optional, this row can be hidden by deselecting the Show Overtime checkbox. To display the row again, we select the same checkbox again. At the right side, we have the totals column, which will give us the sum of the hours under each row. And at the bottom, we have the totals for the planned hours, under each day and for the week, and the totals for the regular and overtime hours under each day and for the full week. By clicking the plus symbol, we can manually add a new task into the timesheet. In the Add Task dialog box, we can search by the task name, by the project name, or by a non-project task. For example, let's say we want to track the hours spent on a training session, so we can select the Training Course non-project task. Please note that these non-project tasks could be different depending on the configuration performed by each company in the system. By clicking Save, the new task is added into the timesheet, and we can also pin it if required. In the right area, we have the Additional Info panel, which displays detailed information about the task associated to the selected cell. For example, by selecting this cell, we have details about the status meeting tasks, such as the planned start date, the planned finish date, the planned hours, and the actual hours so far. There is also a comments box, which could be mandatory depending on the settings of each company. These comments will be seen by the corresponding approver when the time entries are submitted. This right panel can be collapsed if required by clicking the hamburger icon at the top right. If we want to copy the planned hours directly into the regular cells, we can click the arrow located next to the planned hours cell. We can also do this for the full day, and for the full week, and also for the individual tasks. When entering the time entries into the cell, they have a black font color, meaning they can be still modified or deleted. When we are ready to submit our time entries, we just click the Submit button. Once the time entries are submitted, they are locked in the timesheet and they are displayed with a gray font color. We are no longer able to modify this time entry once they are submitted for approval. For this example, we're going to submit 2 additional hours on Thursday, and then we will see the difference between the approved and rejected time entries. We have made a pause, so one of the time entries was approved and the other one was rejected. When the time entries are approved, they appear in green font color, and we cannot modify them. And if they are rejected, they appear in red font color, with the rejection comments displayed when hovering the mouse. We can modify the time entries and submit them again for approval, or we can delete them from the timesheet if required. We hope you find these instructions useful in your work with CrossConcept Continuum. Thank you for watching this tutorial.